think it's important to really get a good visual of the last days at that label and what your headspace was like, you know, as that thing started to wind down.
So things started to wind down. Two of our artists, we released their projects. They didn't hit. We ended up cutting ties with them to, you know, let them go on their way. And my favorite artist that we had signed, this girl Brenda, incredible, super talented, like the most talented artist that you've never heard of, plays 7 instruments, classically trained voice and piano, produces her own music, incredible. I have like 100 songs of hers from the 5 years that she was signed that like... You
would make a good manager for her.
I was a manager for her. I ended up becoming her manager.
I want to listen. Right? Wait, where's the Spotify link?
Yeah, so I ended up becoming her manager. She ended up getting dropped by Interscope after 4 years because we didn't put out any music from her. Justin ended up getting her re-signed to RCA, where he was signed as a solo artist. We still wanted to do right by Brenda, and Justin knew that he hadn't set her up for success, and over that 4-year time at Interscope, I hadn't put out any music for her, and it wasn't a shock that she got dropped. So he was like, I need to give this girl a fair shot. So he got her a deal through RCA. But to get that deal, we had to re-sign Brenda to 10-man, because once Interscope dropped her, it was essentially dropped from 10-man Interscope.
We said that there's really no justice in the music business.
Not at all, man.
There really is not, because garbage, I mean, I'm getting the smoke now, but garbage music can succeed at a very high level, and amazingly, mind-blowingly talented artists can be sleeping in their cars.
Dude, this is a girl that was signed from age, I think, 23 to 31 to 2 different major labels. How many songs do you think they released?
I would hope
in
at
8
least
years.
one. I would hope at least one album.
0 songs got released. 0 songs. And it's not because of her lack of talent or her lack of effort.
Is it political? Like what, like
I think it's part political. If she's not a priority for Justin Timberlake, who signed her, then why would the major label make her a priority?
Yeah, but I thought Justin wanted to do right by her at RCA.
He did, but
so what happened?
He did right by her by getting her a deal, but then he's working on the 2020 album, and who's he going to prioritize, her or his own music? He could have done better by her for sure, but anyway, so
okay, so we're getting to your headspace as this was ending.
We've already closed our office and we're working out of Justin's apartment at the W Hotel in Hollywood.
And you closed your office because, again, Interscope didn't re-up the deal, so you started... That was kind of the wind-down point, right?
Yeah, that was absolutely... Like, the writing was on the wall. Yeah. When Interscope does not renew your joint venture deal, you're like, okay, this is probably...
Only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, right? But I still had hope and faith in not only just Justin's artists, but I'd become close with a lot of people there and spent a lot of time with Justin in the studio and with the new president of the label that ended up replacing Ken after 4 years, was close with them and felt really valued by the organization, and felt like once Justin finally started working on his own music again, that I had grown up in this Justin, like I'd done the Justin school of music business.
Like there would be allegiance, right?
Yeah.
Or whatnot?
And like I wasn't getting paid all that much.
Yeah.
So I knew that they respected me and valued me, and I thought it was a pretty natural transition for me to work on his project once it became time for him to
That'd be the 2020 experience, right?
That'd be 2020, right? And it was a carrot that was insinuated and dangled for me. And after we re-signed Brenda, and I convinced her to re-sign it with Justin, because try telling an artist after they've been signed for 5 years to re-sign with that same label after they've put out 0 music. So a week after I got Brenda re-signed, they let me know that in 2 weeks would be my last day, with no severance package, with no nothing. And I went back, I was really hurt by this, right? Because it came out of nowhere.
Of course.
As much as I knew the writing was on the wall, I thought, we just re-signed this artist to RCA. Who's going to see her project through? Like, she doesn't want it to be anyone besides me.
Yeah, because you built that relationship up.
I built that relationship. I'm the reason why I'm the person that convinced her to re-sign. How is she going to feel that the person that convinced her to re-sign, you just let go, right? So it was not a good look.
When you think of like the griminess of the music business, that's like that to me goes in that category.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, and the timing was like kind of back to back. Like you
it
just got her re-signed,
like,
and then you were
weeks.
You were let go within weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And even the way that they handled it, like if they had told me, hey, we don't have overhead from Interscope anymore, these label costs are coming out of Justin's pocket, so like we've got to make the right business decision, and I'm sorry, we got to let you go. So be it. But like
with tact, essentially.
Yeah,
right?
with tact, like give the dude some severance. Give him like make sure he's got insurance for the next couple months. Like he's been with you for 5.5 years,
for
right?
Sure.
This is where you do the right thing and not necessarily what's in the contract, because I didn't have an employment agreement, right? So I went back to the Justin team and said, severance at all? Like I've worked for you for 5.5 years, which is like 10 years in music industry years, right?
that's facts.
And they came back to me and they were like, we'll give you 2 weeks severance, which is just like a spit in the face.
That's a slap in the face. Yeah.
I mean, it's a slap and a spit and
a kick and everything.
And like a shit on your chest and like
maybe backing their car up into you.
Yeah.
And there was a stipulation about it getting there.
Yeah. So with that severance agreement to get my 2 weeks of pay, which I wasn't getting paid shit, so 2 weeks of that was not much. They included an NDA. And I had never signed an NDA working for Justin, which was miraculous because celebrities of his stature have everyone in a 5-mile radius sign an NDA.
Very true.
But I had never signed one, and I wasn't about to. Not for 2 weeks' salary, probably not for 2 years' salary, maybe for 2 years' salary. Yeah, but I wanted to be able to speak the truth about what happened.
Yeah.
And you're not going to buy my silence with 2 weeks of salary.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and at the time I was angry, I was hurt, all that. But now, of course, years later, I'm none of those things.